Hey, I didn't see you there, all like getting your camera ready for me. Just see this beautiful garden here with all our ancestors, and here at the Pacific Island Ethnic Art Museum. And I think this whole place is super healing. I think once you start to learn about where you're from, and lots of noise here. But I think that's part of being outside, right? We have to have a relationship, and I think that's what I love about Payam. It encourages me to have a relationship with my land, my ancestry, with the places that I'm from, and art is a really beautiful way to do that. Like dancing, singing. To be quite honest, I think there's a lot of grief when it comes to Pasifika, like history and our culture and the ways we're learning about ourselves, and I feel like joy is something that we need to do in order for us to create space for us to think about the future, right? I was thinking about the past and how we're told to remember the past, but I always question, like, well, what is the future going to look like too? And I think that's what art gives us, right? And I think that's what makes me feel joyful. Like, what is a future that we can imagine together? What is a future that, yes, it is informed by our past, but it's also directed by our present, right? And I struggle sometimes, sometimes when you listen and when we hear about what's happening in the world, to have joy. But I think that's something that's beautifully human, right? For us to smile and laugh and be together, and I think that's super healing. And I know during COVID, we weren't able to do any of that, and I know we're all itching for that, right? There's this angst for like togetherness, the space, the bodies, laughter, just seeing everything, and I think that joy is something. There's joy in that. There's joy in relationships that we're wanting to build again. There's joy in the relationship with the earth. This beautiful sun right here. Look at that. Am I glowing? Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I think about that as a way to think about the future, right? I was at the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles the other day, and I think we were talking about how do we right the wrongs of the past, right? Because there's a lot of wrongs that museums and the world has done to a lot of indigenous and Pacific communities. And the thing that came to me is like, well, the way to do that is to teach the children, teach the youth, give the youth a chance for a better world. And I think joy needs to be part of that because it's heavy. Everything we're learning is heavy, and we also need to find ways to, dissipate it or show that we have autonomy over it, that we don't have to let that control our narrative, right? But it's a part of it, right? And so I need to center joy in myself for my own life because it helps me remember who I am. And I think about energy a lot, right? And I think joy is such a powerful energy, and it's such a shareable energy too. And I would love that our communities would be able to be inspired by hope more than anything. So yeah, I think that that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, even though it may be hard. But I know that it's not about me. It's about the next generation and about the generation before and after, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I'm just here for a blink of an eye, and I want this blink to just be the most joyful, because I want the trauma to end with me.